Washington, D.C. locked down a deadly shooting yesterday. Tonight, the one-year-old daughter of Miriam Carey, the woman who started all the chaos, is coming back to her dead mother's family in Brooklyn. Meanwhile, the family of Miriam Carey expected to release their first statement tonight. And we're learning more about Ms. Carey's past, her mental illness issues, and the evidence removed from her apartment in Connecticut. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace is in Stamford with the latest. Sarah.
And Bill, we are at the apartment complex where Miriam Carey lived. We're told that authorities pulled out a computer from her first floor apartment that is there right across this parking lot. They're hoping it will provide some answers for them. Was this a death by cop suicide mission? Did postpartum depression play a part? It's been relatively quiet for the most part of the day here at the complex, but a short time ago there was a flurry of activity. Late this afternoon, a group of people believed to be Miriam Carey's relatives arrived at the Stamford, Connecticut condo complex, escorted by a detective. They entered the first floor apartment Carey shared with her one-year-old daughter and came out a short time later with a baby seat and diapers. These dramatic images from last night's massive law enforcement presence at the condo complex were still fresh today for dozens of residents evacuated overnight after authorities got a search warrant for the 34-year-old's apartment.
Probably around 5:30, and the whole area at that point was completely sectioned off. And through the course of the night, the cordon just became larger and larger and larger.
Authorities say they still don't know why Carey plowed into barriers outside the White House yesterday and then raced toward the Capitol where she was shot dead. Her daughter, sitting in the back seat, was uninjured, officers carrying her to a patrol car. But a possible clue. ABC News is reporting Carey, who was hospitalized twice in December at Stamford Hospital, believes she was being stalked by President Obama. She had no criminal record, but reportedly demonstrated increasingly unstable behavior and signs of mental illness. She worked as a dental hygienist in Hamden before being fired after a dispute with the building management. She hired an attorney after they asked her not to park in handicapped spots meant for patients.
The lawyer sent a letter to the board of directors, care of me, asking the board of directors to cease and desist from bothering her.
Back in Stamford, residents watched as workers repaired the window of Carey's apartment, broken last night when officers and agents converged on the scene, some in hazmat suits.
It's crazy to me that she, lives here and she went to D.C. and did that, especially with a child in the car.
Now, as we said, Carey did work as a dental hygienist, and a short time ago, we spoke with her former employer. Here's what he said.
She had an accident, fell and had a head injury. She found out that she was pregnant during that time and that she was hospitalized.
So again, did postpartum depression play a role? Hopefully we'll hear more of that from her family. We are told they are on their way to Washington, and the family's spokesman, an attorney, expects to release a statement sometime tonight. Live from Stamford, Sarah Wallace, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Sarah, thank you. According to ABC News sources, and Miriam Carey had a history of emotionally disturbing behavior. Her mother and other family members say she suffered from postpartum depression. Typical symptoms of depression involve low interest in life, changes in sleeping patterns, and also eating habits, and a feeling of worthlessness. But Carey reportedly thought that she was also under government surveillance. Experts note that there is a spectrum of mental health problems that can come up after a woman has a baby.
On the more severe end of the spectrum in the postpartum period, there is a risk of something called postpartum psychosis, which is characterized by a loss of touch with reality, which is what psychosis is.
Well, police reportedly found medications used to treat depression and psychotic episodes in Carey's apartment. We don't know if she was taking them as prescribed.